I'm Tom Vassell, and today we're taking a look at A Dog's Life. A Dog's Life is a game in which this game is from Christopher Bohlinger, who's much more well known these days for Dungeon Twister, Archipelago, and other games like that. This is one of his earlier games. It was just reprinted. I played this way back when Melody was quite small. But it's basically you are a dog. This is kind of like that movie, Oliver movie from Disney, where the dogs ran around town and tried to do different things. And you're trying to bury bones because...
That's what dogs do, apparently.
Have you ever seen a dog bury a bone?
No, but I have seen them dig holes.
Well, yes, we used to own a dog that escaped all the time by digging holes. So it is when you're a wild dog, and you're a cool wild dog, going around and asking for food and burying bones. Let's see how it plays. Each player is going to have one of these dogs here, and when you pick a dog, you're going to get a board for that dog, and on that board it's going to show you how many action points you have. It's going to have a hunger track, and you'll start with some food. It also has a bladder, so you'll take some tokens that correspond to your bladder, and you'll start with your bladder half full. And then you'll also get a deck of cards that matches your dog. Each deck of cards is completely different, has different symbols on the back. Players will also draw a card from here showing where you're going to start, where your home base is on the board. And then you'll just put your dog there. You're going to find your dog. So this is my dog here. And I'm going to start in the construction zone, which is right here. Players are going to take their turns going around the board clockwise, and on your turn you have a certain number of action points, and you can move for an action point. So each space you move is one action point. You can knock over a trash can. If you're in a spot where there's a trash can, you can knock it over. You'll turn over the top card and look and see whatever it says in the trash can. Some trash cans give you food, some give you bones, and whenever it shows this very, very sad face, that means you get nothing. So if you get food, you'll simply fill your hunger up, because at the beginning of each turn, your hunger track is dropping by one. And if you get a bone, you're going to stick that bone in your mouth. Why are bones important? Because that's how you win. If you get a bone, you can go back here and drop that bone off, and you get 3 bones back, you win the game. So getting bones is pretty important. Once you knock over a trash can, you're going to cover that up to show that that trash can has been used with that token here. When all the trash cans on the board are covered up, then you uncover them all. The city has some cleaning. But it keeps people from going to the same trash cans over and over again. You can also go to these fountains here to fill up your bladder. Now, why do you want to fill up your bladder? Because you can drop some urine, some pee in different spots on the board when you get to a lamp post. Why does this matter? If another dog enters a spot with your urine there, they have to stop. They lose the rest of their movements. So that's not going to be something that you're going to be wanting to drop these to stop the other players from just gallivanting all over the board. These blue paw prints here are where you can pick up a newspaper. When you go there, you spend an action. You'll grab a newspaper, and you will look at the number on the newspaper, which is 12. Put the newspaper in one of the spots in your mouth, and then you got to go find that place on the board. You'll notice there's different numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12 would be all the way down here. You got to deliver that to there. Once you deliver a newspaper, you'll flip over the top card of your deck and see what happens when you do a delivery, which again can give you food and or a bone. The deck is used for other things. You can go into a restaurant. There's different spots with red claws. When you go into a restaurant, you can only go to each restaurant once. You beg there and you'll turn it over to see if they turn you away or if they give you food, and sometimes they will throw you a bone. You can go fight another dog to try to steal what they have. You'll both turn cards over and see how many paws you have to fight to see if you win. At the end of a player's turn, they're going to roll a 6-sided die, and that's going to show how far the dog catcher truck moves, which starts here. If the dog tracker runs over you, you go to the pound immediately. If it stops next to you, you draw the top card to see if he catches you or if you manage to escape. Once you're in the dog pound, each round, the first time, you'll draw the top card to see if you escape or if you're still imprisoned. After that, you'll draw 2 cards, and on the third round, you'll escape for sure. When you escape, you come out here where the dog pound is. That's pretty much the whole game. You're just going to be moving around. The reason hunger matters is because if you run out of food on your turn, then you automatically go to the pound. I guess you're too hungry to run away from them. The first person to get 3 bones and back to where they started is the winner. There's a few other things in here. If when you go to the dog pound, you drop stuff so other people can run up and pick it up and go deliver it. But that's pretty much it. What do you think about the components, the artwork, the board, the dogs?
I thought it was really nice. I liked the little dog models. The board was really detailed, and it was like you're actually dog going around and going to restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, the little rubber dogs are cool. The truck and everything looks really good. It's easy to differentiate whose dog is which. I'm a big fan of the little P tokens, which are probably not in any other game in existence. So the components here are very well done. The dogs are also quite different in how their decks are made. It's hard to tell.
How?
Yeah, I mean, you can sit there and like spread out the cards, say, oh, well, I mean, the rule book tells you a little bit like the poodle gets more food when begging at restaurants because poodles are cuter.
Well, the bulldog does.
Well, at least apparently in this game, poodles are cuter. Right, and some dogs are better at fighting and stuff, so you can figure that stuff out as the game goes by. What do you think about this game strategy-wise?
To me, there wasn't that much strategy. Like, sure, you can plan out like how you're gonna move your turn, but the truck part was actually kind of random in my opinion. You just take whoever's nearby.
Yeah, and also the truck rolling a 6-sided die is extremely random, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, well, I hope they don't catch me, and then on your turn you roll 6, and then on my turn I roll 1, and so you're always moving the truck probably to the nearest person, and it can be somewhat frustrating, especially with more people playing, where that truck is going to catch you all the time. Mm-hmm. Because the more people playing, there's going to be that many die rolls, and that truck's just going to drive around and run you over and send you to the pound. Now, going to the pound isn't terrible, but it's essentially like you're losing a turn. And I've always thought losing your turn is a bad mechanism in games.
Yeah.
But other than that, it really does feel a little random. You can go around and search trash cans. You can go around and go to restaurants and beg for food. You can go around and deliver the newspapers. But you don't know what newspaper you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to find at a trash can. You don't know what you're going to get in a restaurant. You might know what's in your deck, but it's really kind of random. Maybe it's not, but it felt that way to me.
Yeah, it did for me too. But in my opinion, the randomness kind of worked for this game because, like, if you're a dog, you don't know what you're gonna find in the trash can. When you get like a newspaper, you just go where they tell you to go. And for restaurants, you know, they're either gonna give you food or they're gonna kick you out.
Well, no, I agree on that. I think that this game very well brings the theme to life. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going there and begging for food. And I think the most strategic part of the game is the pee. I mean, really, the fact that you can urinate in different spots and stop other dogs from moving there seems to be the most strategic thing. Go fill up at the fountain, which is funny. You know, there's a lot of jokes that are made about that. But that seems the most strategic. I just felt like the whole game itself was... I remember thinking the first time I played it, it was random. Playing it a decade later hasn't really changed my mind.
But I thought the game was a lot of fun to play. It's definitely like a kid-type game. It's a really pretty game. And for me, it was really fun to play.
So what would you rank it?
Probably like an 8.
Wow.
I really like this. It's random, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, there you go. I would rank it, for me, like a 4, right? Just not that interested in this game. But for kids, I would give it a 6, easy. I believe that this is a game that kids will enjoy because they don't mind that randomness. And it gives them choices. You know, it's a roll and move game where you're moving the ambulance. But other than that, you have 8 actions. Oh, that's right. It's a dog catcher. Oh, it looks like an ambulance. Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, I guess.
Okay, anyhow. So, yeah, but I think that they're not going to care about that. The hardest thing that kids will have is keeping track of your actions.
Yeah.
You have to, like, make them count out loud. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to the thing here, 4. I'm going to bury the bone, 5. You know, there's that. I wish there was a better way to keep track of actions. But other than that, I think it's thematic. You'll laugh. There's fighting with the dogs and stuff. So I would approve this as a kid's game, but for me, apparently Melody disagrees.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, there you go. That's A Dog's Life. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
And this has been Double Trouble.
Boom.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.